Welcome, everyone. We're here with Zac Halloran with Merrill Lynch, a financial advisor and an entrepreneur in his own right. And we're going to talk a little today about financial planning for entrepreneurs. Some key things that they should keep in mind as they're planning for their financial future while building a company. How to make ramen profitability work for people who are trying to do big things. And Zac, I'd like to just start off with a little bit about your background, not only as a financial advisor, but in your own entrepreneurial journey.
Sure. So first I started as an entrepreneur about 5 years ago. I had a company called Twill.com, and it was an online retail company that had a philanthropic nature to it. So for every product that was sold, we were donating either profits or a portion of proceeds back to charity. Actually, a lot of charities that were in the upstate New York area, raised in the Albany, New York area, one of 75 boys to girls. I started the company with my brother Jeremy, who was our CFO at the time, and I was the CEO. And I ran that company for about 5 years, self-funded in the basement. Still like hard to start a business, so I very much know the strap mentality it takes for buyers. Persistence that's needed to start a company and have a solid exit. So I had that background, and then that helped me understand the financial aspect about investing, understand about building companies, individuals that needed help investing as well. So I actually joined the New York group here in Beverly Hills, Century City area in Southern California, and I'm a financial advisor. I work with individuals, business owners, foundations, and charities to help secure financial wellness. And that encompasses a lot of complex things. Those are the things I'm sure we're going to get into today.
What did that experience starting your own company, scaling that, growing that, teach you about some of the pitfalls and things to look out for as an entrepreneur when you're taking that kind of leap?
Yeah, I think the first thing is, especially starting out right from the bottom, a lot of folks, entrepreneurs, company owners, executives like to use their own money. And I understand you have to in some certain circumstances. But the climate that we're out here in Southern California, I think we can go out into the market and raise substantial capital and by having a strong business plan and pitching at all these different entrepreneurial events that are out there. There's a lot of money on the street to be gobbled up from a young entrepreneur if you have the right mindset, if you have the right fundamentals from company structure, from the executive structure, the right people in place. And then you also have a strong business plan. You're going to execute what you say you're going to do. So I didn't come from that mentality. I came from a smaller economic background from Albany, New York, but I look at the landscape here in Southern California, and I feel entrepreneurs can go out into the market with a solid background and potentially get some capital, raise some human capital, and also raise some equity plays with debt financing, whatever I feel is appropriate.
What kind of advice do you give entrepreneurs who are coming to you and your team?
Entrepreneurs that are coming to us for advice, to our team specifically, we're looking for folks that have very complex needs, whether it's folks that are a little bit further along, that are looking for the wealth guidance that they want to secure future cash flow. They're looking for, it could be a small line of credit for their business. It could be the general questions about business, investing into their business or in other businesses. In most cases, the general phrase we like entrepreneurs is when they're ready to exit. That's really important is that they have an exit strategy. And when you get that lotto ticket in your hand, when you made a clean exit, you want to be sure that those assets, that equity, that capital you're receiving is tax minimized the best way possible. That we're investing appropriately according to your time horizon or liquidity needs, but also making sure that exit lasts you the rest of your life and maybe it leaves some behind for your family, some other wealth legacy planning ideas for your family.
For somebody that's starting out at the beginning of this journey where, maybe they're bootstrapping, maybe they have a little bit of seed funding, but, every dollar counts.
Right.
How should they be readjusting their own financial planning? If they don't have a 401k, for example, what's a good alternative for somebody in that situation?
Yeah, that's a good question. Folks that are in a situation where they're self-employed, they might be the only employee, they're doing consultant work, they're doing stuff like that, they might want to take a look at a self-employed plan, a simplified pension plan. It's called a SEP IRA. There's also solo 401ks out there, but I think the best advantage to the SEP IRA is one that encompasses flexibility and contribution, number one, but also the contribution limits are $55,000 or 55% of your income, whichever is less. So if I'm making $100,000 and I'm drawing down on the business and I'm making 100K, I can contribute $25,000 to my SEP IRA. Whereas a traditional 401K, you can only contribute, I believe it's $19,000. So you're already in an advantageous position.
How much do you think somebody in that situation where, they're trying to get a company profitable, maybe they're taking a reduced salary from what they were doing at a larger employer, what kinds of things should they absolutely keep within their kind of financial portfolio, their financial game plan? What kinds of things should be shelved, or should anything be shelved?
Yeah, I think when you're talking about a portfolio, if you're looking to liquidate, or if you're looking to keep, certain equities or bonds or whatever it might be in your portfolio, when you're buying memes on the street, you're not looking to sell them. So quite frankly, our theory is you're buying memes on the street, you're trying to keep those for the long term. So if you have positions with long-term capital gains, you might want to look to keep those and keep those for the long term. Put those into a SEP IRA, put those into a retirement plan, and let those grow aggressively and tax deferred. I apologize, I didn't mention this about the SEP IRA, but also you have tax deferred growth, so that compounding interest, the tax savings that you're spending until you're 59 and a half, you can access it, will actually grow very competitively. So you want to take a look at those satellite positions. If you're doing really well, keep those off to the side. And then let's be real about investing and take a look at your mutual funds, take a look at some of the bond indexes that you're into, ETFs, which is a sexy term that everybody's using now, and seeing if you're really doing well, or you're really beating benchmarks, so you're really out market. And if you're not, it might be time to get out of those positions and get into a more aggressive either equity strategy or maybe invest into some private equity. So it really depends on the investor, their age, time horizon, liquidity needs, but really looking at those positions and seeing what might be the best for them.
Got it. For a company that's issuing equity, founders stock, an early employee that's getting a restricted stock grant, what kind of advice would you give them about how to protect those assets?
Have it in writing. It's really tough trading because you're trading sweat for equity, and I've been in that position, and I've got a lot of colleagues that have been in that position. It's really tough because it's an illiquid investment. Okay, you're hoping that you're praying that the company does well so that you can get a payday down in the future, which is understandable to a certain extent. But what I would be doing if I were proposed that opportunity again was have quarterly or biannual reviews with my executive team, making sure that they're on pace to hit their revenue tracking monthly, their by year-over-year revenue rates, but really the monthly revenue rates, because you can really see the growth and lack thereof in monthly revenue. So I would be really interested in seeing how the company's doing from a recruiting standpoint, and really be invested into that, not necessarily deep down into the weeds of the operations side of things, but just asking some particular questions with the executive team to say, hey, what are the expectations for me, but also, am I able to access some of the earnings of this company? I really want to know how this company's doing. So, monthly rate run would be great measurement of successful metric a lot of these companies. But also, making sure, what is the future there for me? Does the company want me there on a workout basis, or there for a short period of time, getting out to a position? You got to take a look at what that looks like too, because when you exit, that can get sticky, right? In a private equity situation, not registered securities, that can become a sticky situation. And I don't want anybody to be in that situation, because sometimes you have friends or family, and that can get a little sticky. So I was very careful with private equity.
Do you see founders come in, with their equity, and have difficulty understanding how to, how to cash it out or how to move it around.
Yeah, yeah, that's really tough. And valuation is really important, right? Because what the street says you are could be different than what an executive thinks that their shares are. And so, from an auditing perspective, you have to get your shares audited, and typically a company does that when there's an exit event, in the pursuit. That's really important. So sometimes founders get these visions of grandeur. Oh, it's more than they say it is. You really got to get a fair market value of your shares and make sure that you're getting, honest perspective on that, to make sure that you're grounded. Because quite frankly, dreams and entrepreneurs' visions can go very widespread, and you just want to make sure you're holding that in and having a solid footing about what you're going to do, and have a strategy in mind to exit safely.
As an advisor, do you work with entrepreneurs and treat different kinds of grants differently? A restricted stock grant versus an option versus a warrant?
Yeah, so I think employee stock. Are you talking about employee stock options?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, restricted stock options, RSUs, they're called employee stock options. Those can be tough because a lot of times they have vesting schedule. You can't really put those out to the market until they vest. Usually they can be a couple of months, they might be a year, they might be 18 months. So it's not that they're real liquid, is that you're just not getting those proper value right up front. You're going to get it for an extended period of time. So we typically like to diversify when someone gets RSUs as an ESOP. We always want to take an entrepreneur and diversify against what they're getting concentrated in. And typically they're getting concentrated in a lot of company stock. So what we'll do is we'll take company stock and say, okay, hey, let's keep a portion, right? Let's keep a portion over here, but let's take a look at a way to diversify that out for the long term. Because here's the thing: what if the company goes south? What if earnings start to decline? What if things don't really happen fundamentally or technically with this company that was expected? So you have to have a plan in place, maybe every quarter, once a month, maybe once a year. You're constantly evaluating risks and stuff, and making sure you're getting fair value, but also you're diversifying against what you have, making sure you're not so concentrated in that position. So that's one of the things we do with a lot of our entrepreneurs, folks that have private equity shares, or even actually publicly owned shares, really important. And there's certain precautions and regulatory issues for that.
For somebody that's, let's say there's somebody that's working at a big Fortune 100 company. Maybe they're at a Facebook or a Google. They have an idea and they're thinking about taking a leap and starting a company. What kinds of things would you advise that they do to prepare themselves to go from a corporate salaried position to being on their own?
I think this is the biggest question that young people are faced with every day, especially entrepreneurs. We have some high earners here in the Southern California area, and in New York, and Houston, Atlanta. There's a lot of tech bouncing around, in Hollywood, and all this fun stuff. And there's a lot of folks that have some really great ideas. They just don't know kind of where to take that, where to kind of propel from. So what I would suggest doing is first find a co-founder so that you can trust. Okay, find one or two people that you can really trust. Get down to the gritty of it and really solve some of those problems that you're having with whether you're solving a problem, you're making somebody money, or saving money for time. Find out what that is and grind away on that, and really test it out. There's really no reason to leave a full-time job to go on a venture that has no predictability, no proof of concept, and no business plan, and no investment of capital. You can do all those things, I promise you, in the 38 to 48 hours that you have on the back end of your day. And that's what I did. I had a full-time job on top of my company to keep the lights on. So I wouldn't suggest tapping into retirement accounts. I wouldn't suggest tapping, Uncle Jim for money. I would work really, really hard to put those ducks in a row, surround yourself with the right people, and start pitching at these investment startup kind of opportunities, these events that are out there. They're everywhere. Be out in the market and be out networking, getting my name out there. But also too, it's Facebook and Google have venture capitalist mindsets, and internally have those kind of branch offs, I might even go to them and say, hey, I created this great app, or hey, I got this great idea. What do you think? I didn't have that. I didn't have that capability. So if I was at Facebook or Google, I would look at their venture firm and see what I could do to go from there.
Yeah, it's funny. I've seen a lot of stories. These are kind of the like inspirational, entrepreneur coming back from a failure kind of story, where they have an idea and they're maxing out their credit cards for the company. The Skim is one example of this. There were two women who started this newsletter that really blew up, and was able to attract venture capital, but they built it on credit card debt.
Right.
Is that something you ever see? I imagine that's something you would advise against.
Yes, I mean, I advise against it, and you do see it quite frequently. Debt has a high revenue premium. Banks love debt. They get paid out pretty well for debt. So it's really important for an entrepreneur that banks want that to happen. We talk about the student loan crisis. We talk about the credit crisis and the housing bubble and all that nonsense. They love debt because they can charge a lot of money. So they want to lend out. That's why you get 18 credit cards in the mail as soon as you turn 18. They want that debt. And so I think it's really wise for an entrepreneur to really take a look intrinsically at themselves and say, okay, what do they really want out of this? And say, can I bootstrap it for another year, another 2 years, and slowly start paying myself maybe in 5 years? If you are working really hard and you are in a position where you're making some good money and you're not sure if you're there yet, then you're probably not there yet. You probably need to put in a little bit more time and energy and get to those brand partnerships or those investment meetings and really solidify those pitches. People should really be coming to you and handing out money. When you're there, you'll know. I really feel that.
That's interesting. How much do you think a founder should pay himself and the core team when they're getting started?
It's a great question. I say nothing. No. I think it's a position where I always try to look out for my team first. I knew that I had some young people that were giving their time and energy, and I try to look at them first, pay them first, and then eventually, we'd be successful enough where our executive team could take a commission or salary or so forth. So I think the first thing that a founder should do is take a look at their core team, not their executive team, because they are in equity. Remember, they're in there for the future gain of something. So they understand that they're in it for the blood, sweat, and tears. They're people that are on the ground and putting, bootstrapping it, putting, the clay to work, if you will. You really need to look out for those people first. Those people will take care of it. I actually think those people are more important than customers.
Interesting. Are there any major takeaways from your own experience where you think, if I were going to do this again, I would do X, Y, Z differently?
Yeah, to all those entrepreneurs out there, I would have a plan in place. We get back to the financial planning 101. I'd have a plan put in place where I can put money aside if we had some excess capital, like a SEP IRA or a solo 401k or even a small 401k of sorts, some sort of savings plan for my small team, and making sure that there's a little bit of a savings opportunity for everybody, and moving that along the direction, because as you close up shop or you move on, you can take those with you. You don't have to start from scratch every time you start a new project. You can bring those individual retirement plans along with you to your next employer and continue to contribute. So I don't think it's got to be a hit or miss mentality. I think that's what a lot of entrepreneurs have. It's either all in or all out. I think you have to slowly drill down into some key points, into some key financial components for your business. And then let's just take a look at it each quarter and see how we're doing. We're either on the run rate that we expected or we're not. If we get off track, we got to find a way to get back on. But also, there's that point too, operationally, from a financial savings perspective. Making sure that we're looking out for our employees and their best interest as well.
Awesome. I don't have any other questions. Do you have anything else you want to hit on?
I really do appreciate the time, Chris. Thank you so much. It's really, it's been an incredible run to get from Albany, New York, about 5 years ago, 518 to the 818, I like to call it. I grew up in a very small neighborhood in Albany, New York, about 300,000 people, to 12 million here in Southern California, one little mile that we're at now. And it's really amazing to take what we've done at Twill to help people who really needed it, to now I'm guiding money on Wall Street with my wealth advisory group and team. And it really is amazing to go from that to where I'm at now. I must say it's been an incredible journey. Been able to meet people like yourself all along my journey out here, and really blessed to have the opportunity to speak to some entrepreneurs. And anybody has any questions, Chris, on the back end, feel free to put me in touch with them. I'd love to speak to entrepreneurs. I love rolling up my sleeves still and getting into that grindy, gritty work in the basement. I love that environment, and I feel like I thrive there.
I can imagine that is super valuable for the people that you work with, that you have been in their shoes, that you've been a business owner and experienced some of these, pressure points and decisions that come along that path.
I always tell I said, I know the value of a dollar.
Yeah.
I've been in those positions where I've had to save money, and like I said, I sold my car to start the business. So I've been in bootstrap positions before. And when folks come to us that have a little bit of money, we want that to be protected, preserved, and grown over time. We want that money to last them and to outlive them, quite frankly. Not the sidebar, Chris, but there's a really tough position that we're faced right now from a financial perspective when we get into retirement. And that is folks outliving their means. That is a really big concern. Not only we're talking about Social Security, but we're also talking about making sure that my mom and dad and people that are in their 60s and 70s, they've got a great chance to live into their early 90s, maybe even 100 years old. You and I have a 50% chance to live to 100.
Yeah.
You got to save a lot of money.
Yeah.
And a 401k and a little IRA plan is not going to do it. And so we got to start looking at different ways to do that. And what I suggest is looking at some ways to invest smart and saving for the future. For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that is another really interesting thing is as this generation ages, and then as we come into our own decisions about retirement and securing our futures. Yeah.
It's not easy. And I know we've got a lot of young people that are filled with anxiety about it and where they're going to wind up, and what jobs they're going to work, what sort of benefits they're going to get. We also have some baby boomers, 10,000 a day, that are retiring, that are worried about their Social Security. They're worried about their retirement. They're retiring at 65. Let me tell you right now, they could go on to live to 100. And that's another 35 years. Do they have 35 years left in that retirement plan? I would say a small percentage do. And if they don't, they really need to take a look at that. They really need to find a way to make sure that the money stretches, because it really is a tough environment out there, quite frankly. We're just getting back. We're having a little bit of recovery. We're having a great economy right now. Got some crosswinds going on. I won't get deep into the weeds on that, but when you look at investing, and this is the last to say about it, Chris, with long term, you have to really look at it as a long term basis. You can microscope on the economy. You can look at all the trends, and you can find potholes and problems. But when you look at it, you zoom out a little bit. You really need to take a look at that vantage point and see how the S&P 500 is growing. Look what the Nasdaq is doing, the Dow, seeing how those companies are looking and investing in a smart way. And so that's what we look at. We look at the long-term growth of a portfolio. We don't get bogged down in the day-to-day growth. We're not day traders. We're not active traders. We look at things, yes, on a day-to-day basis, but we're more interested in the long-term growth of the portfolio, how the portfolio goes over 15 years, rather than, let's say, a 3-month. So just some ideas.
Yeah, cool. Well, Zach, thanks so much for your time. This is super interesting, and hopefully we can do this again soon.
Absolutely. And again, look forward to Chris, and look forward to catching up. If anybody has any questions, let me know, and we'll catch up with you soon.